This is the Smash Beer Lead Stocks Crown Jewel of Arla competition, here for race 12 of 17. The Stomp breaks 100 at the Homestead Miami Speedway. The pole winner was the number 32 of Kakashi Hatake, who once again demonstrated the strength of the Hidden Leaf Racing drivers in qualifying. That organization has the most poles this season. Hatake and Ronald Porter would get a great jump on the rest of the pack and take the lead early on in the going. Going into turn 3, Porter attempts to take the lead from Hatake, however, there is very little grip on the inside line. Porter was forced to back off, and Hatake kept the top spot. However, Porter challenged Hatake once again going into turn 1. Turn 1 wasn't necessarily as bad as 3, but Hatake got a bigger advantage coming off of 2, and he took Rob Ryder right with him. First caution flew very early in the race on lap 3. Terry Stewart gets together with Kurt Walker coming out of turn 4, collecting Scott Hamilton, Hinata Hyuga, and Tristan Roberts. No cars went behind the wall, however, Tristan Roberts fell off the pace for the rest of the night. Kakashi Hatake continued to lead on the restart with Rob Ryder in tow. They get a nice jump on the rest of the field. Next caution was on lap 12. Kurt Walker is a little miffed at Tristan Roberts for holding him up. The 29 car gets turned around, collecting Mike Andrews and Naruto Uzumaki. Walker was issued a warning, but no penalty is expected. Ronald Porter was able to get by Rob Ryder before the caution flew, and he restarted right behind the 32. Coming out of turn 4, Porter decides to give Hatake a little nudge, not unlike what he did to Charlie Waters at Southern Illinois. Caution 3 flew on lap 25. Andy Pearson in the 72 is going to turn Neji Hyuga into the grass coming out of turn 2. Hyuga merges back in with traffic safely. However, coming into turn 3, Kevin Colley in the 08 runs right into the 11, collecting the 72 and himself. Watch for the 23 from Mike Andrews. He runs into the 11 and takes himself out. Kevin Colley came into this race as the points leader. He obviously will not remain there, and to add insult to injury, he would be called to the hauler for his actions. Kakashi Hatake led once again on the restart. However, Rob Ryder attempted to take the lead from him coming through turn 2, but going into turn 3, once again there would be no grip, and Hatake keeps the lead. Coming out of turn 2, Ronald Porter gets a little impatient, and he dumps Kakashi Hatake right into the grass. Hatake loses too much momentum, and Porter takes the lead. Porter would be booed by the fans, and he would be called to the hauler after the race. The officials do not take too kindly to high-speed bump and runs. Porter will receive last place points no matter where he finishes in tonight's race. Caution 4 would fly in lap 32. The European domination drivers continue their streak of running into other cars when Mario Franchetti dumps Hamilton Portu into the wall. Portu needs a good run in order to redeem himself. That will not happen tonight. Ronald Porter would lead on the restart with Rob Ryder and Bob Steffens right behind him. There you see Kakashi Hatake in 5th after his little run-in with Porter. Bob Steffens is already having a very good run, however, he wanted to challenge for more spots. However, he decided to challenge Rob Ryder in turn 3, where, as I said before, there is very little grip. However, Steffens would try again, making it a 3-wide battle for the lead with Rob Ryder and Ronald Porter. This would cause Porter some momentum, allowing Rob Ryder to nose ahead and lead a lap of his own. Note how I said Rob Ryder led a lap. Ronald Porter was able to rally back on the outside and take the lead away from Rob Ryder. Next caution flew in lap 49, just before the 3/4 distance mark. Anthony Griffith is going to get together with Kevin Monroe coming out of turn 2, collecting Hidden Leaf Racing teammates Naruto Uzumaki and Hinata Hyuga. Scott Hamilton, Terry Stewart, and Tristan Roberts are involved. Coming out of turn 2 after the restart, Rob Ryder goes low. Kakashi Hatake wisely elects to stay up on the high line. Going into 3, the 56 car checks up, Hatake gets around him on the outside, and now finds himself behind the 45 car. One car starting to come alive in the closing laps of the race was the number 51 Carl Siphoning Hoses Leonard of Jason Bates. He had started and ran in the top 10 all night long, and he was finally able to break away from the pack and started chasing down Ronald Porter. Bates is in his 6th year of Arla competition. He is winless in the series. He has 2 teammates, James West and Greg Stanton, both of whom are also winless. With less than 10 laps to go, Jason Bates challenged Ronald Porter for the lead. However, once again, Porter was challenged on the inside, which, once again, had very little grip. However, luckily for Bates, a debris caution would fly with 6 laps to go, setting up a green-white checkered finish. However, to the sheer frustration of the 51 team, Rob Ryder in the 56 would rain on his parade and proceed to chase down the 45. Ryder, by far, had the strongest car in the 2-lap dash to the finish. However, going into turn 1, Ryder goes low, This would be a big mistake, costing Ryder any chance he had at catching the 45. And thus, Ronald Porter would cruise on to his second consecutive victory, even if the points he scored say otherwise. On the bright side for Rob Ryder, he collects his best career finish. Kakashi Hatake gets his best finish since his win at Indianapolis. Both Jason Bates and Bruno Battaglia would collect top 5 finishes. Sierra Motorsports gets 3 of its cars in the top 10, Vincenzo Bobby Portu and Matt Sgrano returning from his suspension. 8th would be Leslie Riggs, and in his second career start, Ryan Bell finishes 10th. And now for the top 10 in points. Leslie Riggs and Kevin Colley once again exchange spots at the top of the standings. Jared Anderson is still the lone Fat Burger Kid car in the top 10. He is in 3rd. M&J Racing teammates Chris Johans and Kevin Monroe are 4th and 5th respectively. After dismal performances in 2007, Bob Steffens and Bruno Battaglia find themselves comfortably in the top 10. 8th and 9th are Mario Franchetti and Dale Underwood respectively, and Manuel Ortiz continues to hover around the top 10. The next race will be the Kernel Brothers Popcorn 100 at the Salem Speedway in Indiana. This is CJ, signing off.